in the playoff loss to the 49ers here. 2nd and 10, pressure picked up. Prescott over the middle, complete. Across midfield to the Tampa side for CeeDee Lamb. It's been hard to get him the ball. He's been targeted.
And that defense has given up only 1 touchdown, talking about Tampa Bay, in 8 quarters.
On the road.
That's right. Here's a pass coming out aggressively with that first down play call.
It's probably the most important play.
Here's Rush. Completes it to Lamb. And we got a flag down in the middle of the field.
Due to all the injuries that he's incurred.
From the 25, Rush now down by 7. Backpedals and hits CeeDee Lamb. Lamb able to hang on as he's wrestled down. Catch for 17 yards. Cowboys scored a touchdown last time they had it. Here's Lamb, one-on-one. Lowers his shoulder and takes it to the goal line just short. Play clock near 1. Corner of the end zone. Lamb, one-handed try. He got it. Touchdown, Lamb. What a catch.
And a great throw. When you're talking about running the route from the 2-yard line there, I mean, that ball's got to come out quick from the quarterback. They're just not, you run out of real estate if you don't get that ball up quick. He lays it on the outside shoulder perfectly, and Lamb, with one arm, makes it look routine.
With Rush back to pass over the middle. CeeDee Lamb in stride and a big gain out across the 35. Perfect throw from Cooper Rush, and Lamb has 23. They bring on Matt Farniak as a fullback. Jason Peters is in at left guard this series, and Rush has all day. Floating one. Lamb again. First down one more time. This connection is working down to the 31, and it's 17 more for CeeDee Lamb. Four-man rush. Pressure on Rush. Fires. Call for the touchdown. CeeDee Lamb.
I don't know if he's quite number 1, but I'll tell you, he's not far behind.
Rush. Pressure. Gets it out to Lamb, who makes the catch and then is wrestled out of bounds by Ernest Jones. 2nd down. 4-man pressure. Rush. Lamb has it in stride across the 40 and a first down. CeeDee Lamb out to the 43, and he's got 16 yards.
Knee has been bothering the last few weeks. To the CeeDee Lamb hands right away on first down. Gets to the edge and very close to first down yardage as CeeDee Lamb carries the ball for Dallas. And they weren't, so it goes back to when it hit the ground at 2:05. Rush out. Lamb, you can stay in bounds here because it's a 2-minute warning. From the 35 rush, away from Graham. Down CeeDee Lamb on the run. Lamb to the 40-yard line, goes down there. Gets the ball right back to the center, who places it down, maximize the clock.
The rookie 2nd rounder out of Kentucky.
He's good.
Had off-season hernia surgery. Throw down the field, and it is a reception by CeeDee Lamb.
Traded to Philadelphia to help bolster their pass rush. They're 6-0. Playing Pittsburgh later today. Off the fake. Prescott. Look at end zone for Lamb. He's got him. Back-to-back outstanding Dallas drives to open the day.
We've seen how physical he is when he plays the safety spot, but guess who has to cover CeeDee Lamb? That's a safety, and he is out of position on the outside right there.
Dean Blandino letting us know exactly what your thought was. That ball was very high, so a good no call. Prescott protected against the pressure, and that gives him time to find CeeDee Lamb inside the 40-yard line.
Campbell's out. Chris Barnes is out, who just came back last week and led him in tackles. So they're thin there, no doubt. Prescott coming near side. Lamb catches it and upended immediately by Jair Alexander. CeeDee Lamb in the backfield. Prescott back to throw. Gets it to Lamb, who breaks a tackle, and he's in for the touchdown.
That is not a job for the faint of heart. That is full speed energy for about 60 yards. Great play.
2nd and 8. Prescott looking deep, going deep. It is caught on the run. Lamb's got it at a big gainer. Pollard back in the game. Fake it to him. Deep drop. Prescott lofting one. He's got it. Lamb gonna walk in. Touchdown, Dallas.
Brought into the league by Pete Carroll. Great admiration for Coach Carroll and his way with players. Same kind of thing from Ed. Here's a 2nd and 4. On the sideline.
Oh, wow.
What a catch. The feet are down. Seconds to go. Look at this.
I think that's a catch. What a throw. Good job by Lamb.
40-3 the victory there. Taking on their rivals, the Giants here. And they're going to start with a little jet sweep. CeeDee Lamb. Uh-oh. Big room for Lamb out across at 30 and a quick first down. Here's Prescott. Some time loading up, going deep. And it's Lamb who makes the catch inside the 10. Blitz coming. Picked up. Prescott looking to run. Throws across his body downfield. Oh, Lamb, a one-hander. And a penalty to boot. CeeDee Lamb, what a grab.
Pass interference on a defense number 30. That penalty's declined. First down.
Great job by Dak Prescott getting out of the pocket. They brought pressure up the middle, but look at that catch, KB.
Come on.
He takes on scramble drill. You're short, go deep. Nice job there. Fights off. He's getting his left arm grabbed, and he says, I don't need two hands. I'm just going to reach up with my big right hand, pull it down. Lost his mind for a minute.
Giants come with the blitz. 3rd and long. Prescott in trouble. Unloads it. It's caught. Lamb inside the 10 and tackled down at the 2. CeeDee Lamb having a big second half.
Dak organizing the guys. Colts bring 5. Prescott throws underneath, complete. CeeDee Lamb, was he down? They say no for now, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. CeeDee got spun around, but they ruled no body part was down. Stephon Gilmore stunned.
That's the way I saw it as well. Let's take a look. Cloud underneath. Did anything ever touch? I didn't see it.
I think it's good.
How good is CeeDee Lamb? He is just taking over the Dallas Cowboys passing game. Did that forearm get on the ground? I didn't see it. And it has been the key to their season.
The 31, Dak gets it out quick. CeeDee Lamb breaks a tackle down the sideline. CeeDee still in bounds. He's been so terrific after the catch tonight. Rodney McLeod missed that one on Lamb. The 12, CeeDee Lamb on the run. Jet sweep there, getting a first down at the 22-yard line. Let's see if they're going to give it to him.
And you see all those black pellets flying, and there he goes again.
Simple. He's like, hold on to the replay. I'm going to show you the real thing again.
Makes me scratch my head.
2nd and 9. Prescott looking left. Throws. Lamb with the catch. Hit immediately. Boy, Petrie is dishing out some punishment today.
3rd down and 8. Prescott looking, going deep. It is caught for a first down. CeeDee Lamb has it. 3rd and 8. Prescott stands in, delivers a strike to CeeDee Lamb for a first down. Lamb cuts back, gets a block, still going. Lamb inside the 40. Huge play on 3rd and long to CeeDee Lamb. He got a block from Michael Gallup.
It's fantastic. He is hard to match up with there in the slot.
All day, Prescott lofting, going for it again to Lamb, who's got it. CeeDee Lamb, a couple big ones back to back. Prescott, quick drop, throws underneath. Lamb's got it, makes a move, and then the speed from CeeDee Lamb. First down and more, out across the 45 and up to midfield. Wow.
That's unfortunate. He's had a great start to this game, but you mentioned it. Michael Gallup can continue with T.Y. Hilton.
4-man rush. Prescott going deep. Has Lamb. He's got it. And the spin. And he's in. Touchdown, Dallas.
Well, I think this is just a busted coverage.
You mentioned it. They have a new nickel in there. Josiah Scott. No one carries CeeDee Lamb up on the corner route. Reed Blankenship trying to get over from his free safety spot.
3rd and 7. Sweat jump. Free play. Prescott sees it. Fires. Caught. Lamb catches. Takes a hit. It doesn't matter. Down to the 36 of Philadelphia. Prescott fires. Caught. Lamb. Touchdown.
T.Y. Hilton sees CeeDee fixing his chain, making sure it's inside his shoulder pads. Doesn't matter. One-on-one there with Bradbury, and it's a big-time drop.
Little over 5 to play in the half. It's 3rd down and 11. Pressure put on Prescott, but he's able to get it away and complete it to Lamb, and Lamb spins away, and his forward progress will net him the 1st down. Prescott rolling, buying time, firing, open, caught into Tennessee territory. CeeDee Lamb.
Prescott firing, and it's caught for the touchdown. CeeDee Lamb. With 6 seconds left.
No other receiver in his area. You know they have to throw the ball into the end zone. That time he gets called for a hold.
Blitz coming. Prescott unloads quickly. Lamb, nice caught. CeeDee Lamb, who is spinning and working his way down near the 45.
2 timeouts, 1st down at the 40. Quick throw to Lamb, his first catch of the night. CeeDee Lamb is able to fight his way out to the 44. A stunt up front. Cowboys pick it up, and this one is caught. Good, strong catch by CeeDee Lamb. 3rd down and 4. Prescott. Good protection. Wide open and caught CeeDee Lamb. And he rolls out of bounds with a big play and a 1st down as he gets 26. Opportunity for Tampa Bay on defense here. 4th and 4. Good protection, and the pass wide open. Touchdown Lamb. A total breakdown in coverage. And Dak Prescott has had a fantastic night. And Prescott with his 4th touchdown pass.
Pressure again. Prescott throws into traffic, has a completion up to the 40. It's a short one, though. It's CeeDee Lamb making the catch. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
He wants him to play patient, but not conservative.
Prescott pumps, gets it to CeeDee Lamb, who tiptoes his way for what should be a Cowboys 1st down. 10th play of the drive. Pressure on Prescott. Over the middle, CeeDee Lamb has a catch, and then he's swarm tackled at the 25. Prescott over the middle, catch is made by Lamb and tackled just a little short of a 1st down. And so they go. 4th down. Lamb on a jet sweep. Had to make a man miss, and he does. Prescott, quick throw. Lamb, 1st down, turns on the speed. And Dallas converts on that 3rd and short. Noah Brown gave him a good block out there, too. Quick throw. Lamb again gets a block, turns the speed down to the 10 and a 1st down. On the fake, Prescott loaded up, has a man, it's Lamb, he has got it! Oh, what a catch!
Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, they're both on the sideline. So what do? First play, you take a shot.
1st down, quick throw to Lamb, gets a couple of blocks, spins his way, and they get smoked by Fred Warner. And there's a penalty flag.
Good play design to pick up that 1st down.
Malik Davis in the game for the 1st time, a running back. Fake to him. Prescott's got time. Coming near side. Lamb's wide open. And he's got a catch and a 1st down. Blitz coming. Prescott underneath. Another one to Lamb. Fights his way down to the 25.